You meet someone who treats you well, and your stomach turns. Not butterflies, actual nausea. They text back within an hour. They remember you don't like cilantro. They don't raise their voice, not even once. And every cell in your body is screaming at you to leave. You tell yourself you're just not that into them. But here's the thing. You've been into people before. The ones who forgot your birthday. The ones who went silent for 3 days and came back with no explanation. The ones who made you feel like you were always one wrong move away from losing them. Those people you couldn't stop thinking about. So, what's happening here? Why does kindness feel like a red flag? Why does consistency feel like it's hiding something? Your body is trying to protect you from the very thing you say you want. And that's not an accident. You're on a third date. Everything has gone smoothly. Too smoothly. They ask what you need, and your throat closes up. You make a joke instead. You change the subject. Later, in your car, you sit with your hands on the wheel and think about all the small ways they've been thoughtful. And it feels wrong. Not bad, wrong. Like a shirt that doesn't fit even though it's your size. Here's what's happening in your body. Familiarity, bias, and attachment. Your nervous system has a blueprint for what love is supposed to feel like. And it was written a long time ago. Chaos feels like home. Calm feels like the moment right before something breaks. You've learned to brace yourself during peace because peace never lasted. You might notice this in patterns. You feel physically uncomfortable around people who are stable. You're attracted to people who are inconsistent, who keep you guessing. When someone is available, truly available, you get bored. Not because they're boring, because your system isn't getting the hit it's used to. This isn't about having bad taste. It's about survival. And it started long before you ever went on a date. When you were young, love came with conditions. Attention came with volume. Maybe your parent was affectionate one day and cold the next. Maybe praise required perfection. Maybe safety was something you had for a while and then lost without warning. You became a detective of moods. You learned to read a room before you entered it. You figured out how to be small when you needed to be and how to perform when it was required. And here's what that did to your wiring. Your nervous system learned to associate love with adrenaline, with fear, with proving yourself. According to Dr. Amir Levine's research on attachment, we develop conditioned arousal patterns based on early relational experiences. In other words, your body learned that love isn't love unless it comes with a little bit of danger. So now consistency reads as dishonesty. Kindness feels like a trap. When someone shows up exactly when they say they will, your brain doesn't relax. It scans for the catch, because in your experience, there's always a catch. And here's where it gets darker. Toxic relationships aren't just painful, they're biochemically rewarding. This is the part people don't talk about. When someone is hot and cold, when they withdraw and then come back, your brain releases dopamine. Not because you're broken, but because intermittent reinforcement is one of the most powerful behavioral patterns we know. BF. Skinner studied this in the 1950s with variable ratio schedules. Rewards that come unpredictably create stronger attachment than rewards that come every time. Think about a slot machine. You don't pull the lever because you win every time. You pull it because you might win. That maybe is more powerful than a guarantee. Healthy love is a steady meal. Toxic love is a slot machine. And if you grew up hungry for attention, you're going to keep pulling that lever. You tell yourself you like passion. But what you actually crave is the relief after the panic, the text that finally comes through after 2 days of silence, the apology after the blow-up, the moment they come back and you feel like you've won something. That surge is what your body mistakes for connection. And when someone is just there, when they're calm and present and their affection doesn't spike and drop, your brain doesn't know what to do with itself. There's no game to win, no mood to manage, no version of yourself you need to perform. It's boring, and boring to a nervous system like yours feels dangerous. So, your mind creates a problem. You start fights over small things. You find flaws that weren't bothering you last week. You pull away the moment they lean in. You test them. Not because you're cruel, but because you're waiting for them to prove you right. You're waiting for them to leave. Because everyone leaves eventually, don't they? This is called repetition compulsion. Freud wrote about it in Beyond the Pleasure Principle. The idea is that we unconsciously recreate early trauma, not because we want to suffer, but because we're trying to master it. You're going back to the original wound, hoping that this time you'll be able to control the outcome. This time, you'll see it coming. This time, you won't be blindsided. But here's the problem. You're not healing the wound. You're just reopening it. They say, I'm not going anywhere. And you hear, I haven't seen the real you yet. You're convinced that if they knew what you were really like, they'd leave. So you either hide or you push. You perform or you sabotage. Either way, you're exhausted. You're tired of running. But stopping feels like standing still in traffic. So, what do? How do you retrain a nervous system that's been wired for danger? Here's the hard truth. You can't think your way out of this. Your body has to learn that safety is real, and that doesn't happen in your head. It happens in repetition, in small moments where nothing bad happens and you stay present for it. First, notice the discomfort without obeying it. When your chest tightens because someone is being kind, don't run. Don't pick a fight. Just notice it. Say to yourself, this feels uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar, not because it's wrong. Stay in the conversation. Let the feeling exist without letting it make decisions for you. Second, start small. Let someone pick you up on time. Let them follow through on one thing without preparing for disappointment. Don't test them. Don't create a backup plan. Just see what happens when you take someone at their word. Third, name the pattern out loud. If you're with someone you trust, tell them, I'm feeling anxious right now, and it's not about you. It's because this is new for me. Naming it removes some of its power. It also gives the other person a chance to understand what's happening instead of thinking they did something wrong. This process takes months, maybe longer. Your nervous system is slow to trust new data. It's going to take more than a few good dates to override years of conditioning. But here's what starts to happen. Calm stops feeling like a warning. It stops feeling like the moment before everything falls apart. One day, it just feels like Wednesday. You stop scanning for danger because there isn't any. You stop waiting for the other shoe to drop because you realize no one's holding a shoe. They're just standing there. And they're still standing there the next day. And the day after that. You were never broken. You were adapted. Your system made sense of what it was given. It protected you. And now it's protecting you from something that isn't a threat. Healing isn't about forcing yourself to accept healthy love. It's about slowly, carefully proving to your body that it's safe to. Some part of you still believes you have to earn it. That love is something you win or lose based on how well you perform. What if you didn't? What if it was just there, whether you were perfect or not? What does healthy love feel wrong to you? Tell me what it feels like in your body.